Well, heidi-ho, how are you? It's Glennboy Chuck, a.k.a. Glennboy at glennboy.com, and welcome to the September newsletter. I gotta say, the nest is emptying quickly around here. All my kids have moved out of the house, but my youngest daughter just flew the coop to another state. Don't worry, it's not Pennsylvania. And they caught that creep anyway. Go figure, the youngest one is the first to fly away. Can you say separation anxiety? I can. But nothing that a little couch time can't fix. And I don't mean the one in the living room. So an immense amount of talk is going on in my industry about AI. I'm sure you're seeing it all over the place too. And the grand takeaway being this, it can't yet do for you what I can as a voice talent. I'm sure you're probably able to use some of it for writing, and I've actually tried it, my hand at it. I was writing a song, and I need some lyrics, and it was really specialized, and so I did try that. But, the subtle nuances, the pace and the emotional shift, the pitch changes, humor that's delivered with a smile. AI can't do all that. Add a wide range of voices and the characters that I do, and let's just say, you can teach a dog tricks, yes, but not card tricks. And they're lousy poker partners, too. Don't ask how I know. The human voice is exquisitely unique. Look, I've used a sampler just to see how my own voice would come out. And robotic is my take on it. And if you think boring and monotonous is a bad name for a morning show, it's exponentially worse for a commercial or an e-learning presentation, etc. Frankly, it's impersonal and it lacks the uber important human connection, just like the ones online. People crave honesty in their content, and AI is the antithesis of keeping it real, the exact opposite, in my humble opinion. Selling our products or persuading our customers what they need to do, it's one thing on an IVR or interactive phone system, and even that has many people hanging up because they want a human connection. Lost customers, right? I know, I've done it. You're trying to get to a person and you can't get an answer to your technical question or your conundrum with the toilet that won't stop flushing. Yeah, I've got that going on. So it follows then that if you're hoping to get your message across effectively, nothing works better than the warmth and conversational tone of the human voice. Not yet. It's the equivalent of an inflatable date. Anybody got a pin? Sure, smaller jobs with minuscule budgets may be forced to use it, and it may even make sense for some of those, but you're not going to find good talent for $1 a hauler who will do it well. Recently, I was doing a recorded session with a client who had sent me a video to listen to that had an AI voice as a placeholder for the timing. And we're going through the script, and the guy says, "So can you make it sound more like the voice in the video?" And I countered with, "Wait, so you want me to sound more like AI?" He laughed very hard for a long time. And after composing himself, realizing the absurdity of what he'd asked for, he's like, never mind, just keep doing what you're doing, Glenn. That's, oops. Now, all that being said, I do use some specialized tools to attain certain sounds from my voice. Like I did this project for a company as Optimus Prime recently, and you can't do that without some specialized software plugins. I can get pretty close with my natural voice, but layering on the plugins, the same ones they use on the big-name actors, I can replicate it very authentically. I can be Optimus Prime, but if I really want to sound like Optimus Prime, I am Optimus Prime. And so that's what it sounds like when I just try to do it with my regular voice. But then, when I add the plugins, I am Optimus Prime. Or at least that's what I tell myself when I'm walking through the kitchen. Step after heavy step. And now, back to the newsletter. So I produce all my own work, plus I also provide raw files, whatever you need. By the way, I got a new and improved commercial demo, which will give you some ideas to consider for some future projects. You could also sample other demos for styles. Voice retroductions. That's what I call it. Retro introductions. Characters, etc. For all kinds of gigs, from e-learning to corporate fare. It's all on my website. If you need a custom demo, just reach out to me and I'll move heaven in burps to get it back to you the same day. One of my retro demos, this is kind of cool, landed me a session with PBS for for a series about, and this is going back in the day, Steve Lawrence and Edie Gourmet, and they wanted a retro-sounding announcer that was period correct. So I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So wild story on how that happened. I'm watching a Nebraska football game, which is, where I live. So it ended late. It was like 10:30 or later the game ended. So I was about to be the one getting sacked when a call comes in at 11 o'clock from Pennsylvania, 11 at night. My first thought was, well, I don't know anybody from Pennsylvania. My second could be a client, and it was a new one. He said, hey, I love your retro-style voiceover, and it would be perfect for a TV series I'm producing. Gee, try and go to sleep after that call. And so much rejoicing. Man, I love what I do. With stories told by their son, David Lawrence, it's Steve and Edie, Memories of My Mom and Dad. Now on your public television station. Yeah, I had to do that. Anywho, thanks for listening. I hope I can help you with your fall or winter projects upcoming. And I promise I won't make it sound like AI. Peace out.